all across the globe. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and I'm super excited to have you here again with me on a fresh episode of Hot Seat today. And I'm still the one sitting on it. Hello, everybody joining us from South Africa, from Europe, from America, from Asia, from Africa as a whole, everywhere you join us. My name is Greatman Ayilara again, and we are talking today about this particular topic. It's asking, is masturbation a sin? Is masturbation a sin? Uh, there's a lot to talk about it, and I just want to, I just want to believe that sometimes we all need to just come to the fact, to the realization of the fact that some things are just neither white or black. Some things are just neither white or black. And that is why I would really love us to check all the sides of this coin today. Let's check all the sides of this coin today. Let's see what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and what are the things expected of us also to do as people. Maybe from there we can take it up and begin to see how we can um, draw conclusion if masturbation is a sin or not. To you, what do you say? Is masturbation a sin? Thank you for the comment on the studio. I appreciate you. You can call in at any point in time in this broadcast, 080 78384845. 080 The number is right there on the screen behind me for you to call in. All right, so what is masturbation? Maybe we should start from there. Oh no, let's start from the fact if masturbation is a sin or not. Is it a sin? Is it not a sin? You can put in your contribution. You can also call in. You can text me. I'm going to be reading out every of your contribution. I want it to be very interactive. All right, so for me, this is what I'm saying today. Masturbation is sin, yes or no? So I'm saying yes and no. I choose to say that masturbation is neither a sin nor it is a sin. Neither a sin or a sin. I'm saying it is yes and no. It is not yes or no. It is yes and no. And we are not standing in one spot today. We are sitting on the fence because when we begin to delve into it properly, we realize that to you, it might be a sin. To me, it might not be a sin. And sin is whatever thing I see to do and I refuse to do. And sin is what I think should not be done and I continue to do it. But what about the circumstances that surrounds this word masturbation? Okay, somebody is saying I cannot sit on the fence. You want me to say yes or you want me to say no? All right, so the fact is that I am not your God. I think it's only God that can say something is a sin or not. But let's go on with it. Let's go on with it. Okay, if you are saying that I should not sit on the fence, I really want to get where you're standing. You say you've got to teach us the truth. Okay, this is the truth. Masturbation is a conscious and sometimes unconscious biological reaction to the natural urge for sex. I want us to get that fact. Now, here today is not opening the scripture back and forth and saying according to the book of. I want to appeal to your sense of truth. Then we want to appeal to our sense of humanity. I want to appeal to your sense of morality, and I want to appeal to the sense of your spirituality. We are going to be taking everything from all sides, and I'm going to be leaving it to you to make judgment for yourself. So I said masturbation is a conscious and sometimes unconscious biological reaction to the natural urge of sex. Why do I say unconscious sometimes? When a child reaches the age of puberty, especially a boy, we begin to have something they call the wet dream, in a layman term, the wet dream. And, you know, in religion, wet dream is seen to be something that is done to you by your spiritual husband or your spiritual wife. No, it is a biological reaction. You are growing. That child is growing. You are growing. Your body is beginning to get to that stage where your hormones begin to request for some action and activity. And sometimes, if you are not able to do it in real life, when you dream of a woman, especially the woman of your fantasy, of the man of your fantasy. Sometimes you dream about them. And in the process of dreaming about them, your subconscious mind kind of put animation to the pictures you have gathered over the time, even during the day. And you might eventually have sex with that person in your dream, Why? While you're having sex with that person in your dream, something is happening to your real and physical body here. There is something happening to your physical body here. It's either you are actually rubbing the shaft of your penis or the shaft of your clitoris against the nearest thing close to you, maybe your pillow, maybe your bed, and all of that. That's why you get to enter your room and you see a child who is actually, giving it to the pillow or to whatever it is, and they are asleep. They are sleeping. Now, what they are doing, we can also say is masturbation, because it is a simulation of their sexual organ. At that point where they are dreaming of having sex, even though they are not really having the actual sex, and their body is finding is complementing the action in real life, are we going to say that God in heaven is marking it to them for a sin? Are you saying that at that point, when a man is having a wet, a dream that is having sex, or a woman is having a dream that she's having sex, and then their body kind of gravitate towards the nearest object or nearest foam or nearest cushion or whatever, and they begin to rub the shaft of their private organs against it, and they reach the stage of ejaculation or climax while still in the dream, while still sleeping? Are we saying that that is marked for them as a sin? I'm asking the question. Is it a sin for them? Now, what are they doing? They're actually stimulating their sexual organ, even though it is unconscious. So masturbation can either happen consciously or unconsciously. So conscious masturbation is when you get a Vaseline, or you get a jelly, or you get a lubricant, and or you begin to use your hand against your sexual organ or whatever it is, to the point where you reach ejaculation. Why? What is causing that? What is the cause of that particular one? Now, this is it. Masturbation, the biological aim of masturbation is to gratify the body's need for stress suppressant chemicals. Your body needs to suppress stress sometimes. It needs to suppress stress sometimes. And it doesn't matter if you are a Muslim or a Christian, if you are a pope or an imam, it doesn't matter if you are a monk, except you are giving up that consciously with your mind. So your body needs those chemical reactions, like the serotonin, oxytocin, all these reactions that I put right there, nitric oxide, to actually balance. You realize that sometimes a woman who have not had sex for a long time tends to overreact to things. That's where you see them reacting, overreacting, and behaving mad and all that. And that's why you see so many women who are at the top echelon of the society or even organization, who are not being well sexed by their husband. They tend to be very aggressive at work. They take it out on every other person. Now, sometimes a woman might be hyperactive and very, very agitating and aggressive. And what she needs is sexual intercourse, and she might not know. She's just misbehaving. She just doesn't know. Her body is not just coming up. Now, sometimes most of these women, because their husband is not there to do these things and they don't want to go outside, they actually engage in masturbation. They engage in masturbation. Now, what is causing the masturbation? The body needs that oxytocin, the serotonin, and also nitric acid oxide, and all those things to balance. Then this is what you see about men. The moment we finish having sex, we find sleep very easy. Some men, the moment they finish ejaculating from the top of their wife or their partner, they sleep off. Now, the body need all these things to regulate your blood pressure sometimes, your stress hormones sometimes, everything need to be balanced. And God created sex for a very good reason, for a very good reason. Now, how you now achieve the orgasm of sex or all these biological chemical reaction, is now left to you. Are you getting it legitimately, or are you getting it to what we can call a moral way? Now, I'm going to move on and say that masturbation is Sometimes also a kind of substitute. It is a substitute for sexual act. A substitute for sexual act, which is a nature's demand in regards to aging and growth, and have been in existence for millennia. Masturbation is not something that is coming up right now. It's not just coming up. It's not an invention of the West or invention of the South or whatever it is. And you realize that for you to know that masturbation has been in society, any normal society, even animal kingdom, you see that sometimes they masturbate. If an animal is on heat and there is no other partner to do it with, sometimes they engage in homosexuality at the time of their aggression. And sometimes you see them engaging in uh, zoociality or whatever you call it, having sex with a tree or whatever it is, I don't know, just to balance that hormone. They are crazy, they are mad at that time. And also for us human beings, we feel that way also most times. And it is naturally a biological reaction. And one of the medium or method of achieving that sexual orgasm is this masturbation. So I want us to get the basis for masturbation before we begin to now say, okay, let us demonize it. The reason why I'm saying this is to actually demystify the fact that masturbation is a spiritual possession. You don't go to church to go and be delivered of the spirit of masturbation. What you do is to work on your mind or to do it the right way. Now, let's move ahead. Now, masturbation could arise as a result of spousal absence. Spousal absence. Now, I have been in a long distance relationship before. My first marriage was actually basically a long distance marriage. My wife was in Canada and I'm in Nigeria here. And I've not had sex for a long time before I got married. And when we got married, we had a lot of sex and she had to travel back. And now my body began to request for it. Now we could be on phone talking to each other. That's my wife. I can sexualize my wife. It's your problem if you think it's a sin. And she can sexualize me. It's your problem if you think it's a sin. So whatever we do with video call and whatever is our business, not anybody's business. So spousal absence can also be a factor why people masturbate sometimes, as in most of the time. And the reason why people go into masturbation because of spousal absence is because they don't want to mess up outside. Another thing is pregnancy phobia. There's an ideology between the men that we really don't want to come near to our wives when they are pregnant. They look too fragile for us. Some of these women look very unattractive at that time. Some of them develop body odor all of a sudden. Some are spitting, some are not. They are just sweaty and all that. Some just don't even want you to near them. And then you guys have been married for like a year or so and you've been having sex steadily. And suddenly she needs to go for 9 months celibacy. Some women really want to have sex during pregnancy. Some women don't want to. And some men might want to. Some men cannot fathom it. And okay, he wants to stay faithful to you and then he engages in masturbation with your permission, even sometimes. Sometimes not with your permission. He just wants to stay faithful to you. So the spousal absence is involving both men and women. Both men and women. And it's going to be a lie if any of you watching me right now or be watching me later is telling me that you have never engaged in the act of masturbation. Even if you don't call it the real act of masturbation, you must have touched your clitoris, you must have touched the cap of your penis to a point of ejaculating before. And some of you even do these things while having sex with a man. How about that? The man is in you, you are with the man. But in order to actually maximize the orgasm and the climax, you still go ahead to rub your clitoris. Go ahead to still masturbate right where the man is actually having sex with. So are we saying it's a sin? What if this man is your spouse also? And those of you who are saying masturbation is a sin, what do you call oral sex? Oral sex, I massage your clitoris, you what they call it, is it blowjob, but what do they call it for men? When the woman picks your man's penis and begin to. So what do you think is happening? All right, so birth-related issue also. When a woman gives birth and she's actually suffering from tears, or some women give birth through CS and they don't want a man to near them. What if this man is nymphomaniac or have a very great libido and he has been waiting all the while that, okay, 9 months is over, you don't want me to touch me, you don't want me to touch you, am I not going to touch you again? Okay, because he couldn't hold it anymore, he needed to just puke. And what I wanted to know is that the way men who have been sexually active, the way we secrete sperm after we stop having sex is so spiral. than if we have been celibate for a long while. Yeah, we secrete sperm a lot and we just want to get it done. At a point in time, you can even be so horny as a man that you are not thinking of masturbation, but mere the fact that you are running, maybe you are going for exercise and the shaft of your penis is rubbing against your trouser or whatever it is, can even stimulate you and make you come. And women are here listening to me. You know how you do it in the shower, how you use the pressure of the water coming from the hand shower to massage your clitoris and get what you have to do. And you come out and you are in the open and you are castigating people because you are the wife of a pastor. Divorce phase is also a situation that puts people in the act of masturbation. Yeah, divorce phase. People who have been sexually active before in marriage, they have been having a lot of sex. Suddenly, the man is no more there to satisfy you. The woman is no more there to satisfy you. And in the process of trying to integrate yourself back to singleness, sometimes you are crazy. You are alone and you are on it. And you opt up for this masturbation. Now, all the while, all these people doing all these things because of these things, they are doing it because they don't want to mess up. They don't want to spill outside. They don't want to be seen as immoral. And they are doing it with the consciousness that they don't want to sin against God. Remember that all of these people have been sexually active before. Now, masturbation also arises when a young person who is yet to marry has been introduced to sexual life before, and suddenly they couldn't find someone to do it with. So they opt for masturbation while they are waiting to be engaged again, to our relationship again. So we should not keep lying to ourselves. You are not in a relationship. That doesn't mean you are not fulfilling your own sexual gratification. Except you are lying to yourself. I don't like sex. I don't like sex. Are you saying you are not touching yourself at all? So we better leave the holier than thou attitude today. Now, moving on to the next slide, I want to talk about the relationship between masturbation and religion. Why is religion frowning against masturbation? Religion is thriving on two things: your mind and then your body. Mind could be where you compartmentalize your soul and spirit. Religion is very concerned about your spiritual state. Religion believes that the moment you are sexually active or you are sexually engaging, the angels run away from you. God don't want to see you because God don't want to see people who are having sex. Now they are forgetting that God is everywhere. And if God leaves a room where you are dead. So the fact that you are masturbating and you are still alive is because God is still there. So if God dares to leave your life for a moment, you are dead. So when you think that because you are masturbating, having sex, God is closing his eyes against you, no, that's a lie. God is there. God is there with you. So the Bible says, even if I make my room in the depth of the sea, you are there with me. So if you like, go and hide in a cupboard and say, God will not see me. I'm hiding myself from God. God cannot behold me in this state of immorality. No, God is there with you. Now, why is he there? Because he was the one who gave you that passion, the urge for sex. Do you know that you should be counting yourself lucky even for being able to have sexual urge to the point of wanting to masturbate? A lot of people will be listening to me later who have never had the experience of sexual urge before. You see, they are even praying that God, give me the ability to be able to masturbate, at least if once. And you have a lot of power to masturbate. And you are still saying this gift of God is bad or evil. Let's cut off the hypocrisy. There are so many impotent men. There are so many women without that sexual opening. They want badly to have an experience of what they call sex, but you have it on a platter of free. Now, the mind purity. Religion believes that the moment you begin to think about sex or anything that is related to, your mind is dirty, then God is not there with you. It is a lie. God is still there with you. The highest is that the Spirit of God in you could begin to convict you and say, you shouldn't have done this. Why would the Spirit of God convict you? Because there is a provision for it. There is an alternative to masturbating. There is an alternative to masturbating. You can do without masturbating. But that does not mean that if you find yourself in a tight corner and you have to relieve yourself of this biological situation, that God is not going to come with a rod tomorrow and slash you. Body impurity also is a reason why religion is fully against this. I want you to open your mind. We are getting somewhere. I'm not done yet. Body impurity also. People believe that, okay, when they masturbate and they have semen all over their body or their body fluid, they are a mess. They are dirty and all that. Nobody wants to see them, or they are useless to themselves, or whatever. All those things. Come of that, come of that, come of that. I have been in a situation even recently where I went to the hospital and the doctor was telling me, Oga, something is doing you. All right, so that's the reason why religion is fully against masturbation. They want you to preserve your mind. Now, in the process of religion trying to make you preserve your mind, religion is actually filling up your mind with things that it wants you to think about. Religion wants you to think about paying tithe as a means of getting the blessing of God. Religion wants you to think about going to Jerusalem or Mecca as a way of pleasing God. Religion wants you to take care of your pastor instead of your neighbors who are sick, who are in need. Religion wants you to come together at all costs to a particular place instead of you to scatter abroad and do good, just like Jesus did. Religion is going to make you do a lot of things that is evil as long as religion permits it. But regarding this particular one, they say, no, don't do it, don't do it. The reason why you hear a lot of rape action and all that in the Catholic papas and all those is because kini yóò ṣe fi sára kú? Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Kini yóò ṣe fi sára kú? There is camera everywhere watching you. The highest we can do is just to. I was studying up about the life of the medieval Greek and Macedonian war masters, and I saw that even right there in their army, it is a permitted practice for you to be homosexual, because they know that sometimes when the soldier fight to a point and they don't have that sexual hormone in them, they could lose balance, they could lose sense of judgment and all that. So because there are no women in the war front, they allow the men to have sex with one another. They allow the men to have sex with one another. But in the midst of those people having sex with one another, man and man, someone say, I'm not going to let a man desecrate my body and begin to now just jack himself up somewhere. It doesn't disturb you. It's not disturbing your peace. It's not disturbing the peace of the society. It's not even doing it in the public. It's just doing it with himself, all by himself. You still want to kill him. All right, the body impurity. Now let's move on. Masturbation and health. What is the relationship between masturbation and your health? The chemical balancing, we said it, the oxytocin, the nitric oxide, and all these sin thing. Some of you are going through a lot of hypertension and you are just mad, you are just crazy, you are just depressed. Not because something is wrong with you. You need sex. You need sex. You shout everywhere, you misbehave, you don't have a good sense of judgment anymore, no sense of humor. Nothing is hilarious to you. You are living life like a aggredy person. You just need to go and meet your spouse and have a good sex. Okay, what if you are very far away? You are abroad. Your spouse is here in Nigeria or wherever they are. We're praying to God and fasting. Balance your hormone. You answer that. Second thing is that it helps to reduce the risk of prostate cancer in men especially. It is recommended medically for men to have sex as much as possible in a week, because your prostate gland needs massaging. It needs massaging. If you don't massage it, if it doesn't contrast and enlarge and all those things, there is possibility that it's going to be growing, it's going to be overgrowing, and also blocking some part of you also like that. So in a way, you can't be paying for sex and be going around sleeping with every man, every woman you see around there. So medically, doctors advise that man masturbate as much as possible. And thank God the sperm no dey finish for them. All right, what about masturbation and society? Masturbation and society. Masturbation actually helps curbs indiscriminate sex, if we are going to be truthful to ourselves. If there is no masturbation, people have sex every day. The amount of sperm that drips on this ground every single day will make a very big river all over the world. Either you have sex with a woman, you are having sex with a man, which is very disgusting to me. Some are having sex with animal, or you're having sex with your hand or whatever it is. People are dripping fluid every day Fluids are dripping every single day. So how? What means are we? And all the people that are ejaculating in a day, reaching orgasm in a day, squatting, or that squatting is what they call that thing. Are we saying that everybody are doing it through the means of sex? What is happening? Your choir master is doing it. The choir sisters are doing it. Pastor, they do it. Yahoo pastor, they do it. Imam, they are doing it. The reason why you still see some men in the society as sane and very coordinated is because they are masturbating. Not because they don't want to have sex, not because they are not sexualizing you, not because they don't wish to just tear you up in at one glance and all that, but because they have been able to find a way to cope their own weakness. So they go into their room and just rape themselves in their imagination instead of coming to yeah or messed up their own self. And some men in a good faith see it as a way of self-control. As a way of self-control. So it helps to curb the indiscriminate sex in society. If all the men that are paying the prostitute in the street actually go into their room to masturbate, there will not be job for those girls. They will be more healthy. You can get infection via masturbation. Do you get infection via masturbation? Medical people can tell me that. All right, masturbation and economy. Masturbation actually creates job for porn artists. For porn artists, it creates job for them. So we're saying that if they didn't have that job of porn artistry and they are on the street, either stealing, killing, or joining Islamic State and all that in Syria, think about that. Think about that. The financial gain is also there for those who are manufacturing sex toys. Sex toys manufacturer. One of the biggest dollar grossing company in America today is the sex toy manufacturer. Now you are not having sex. I'm not having sex. All of us are holy. We are celibate. Who is buying all those sex toys? The shipping, the cargo, the container that is coming to Africa, going to Asia and all that. Who are the people buying them? The spirit and the angels are using them, right? Why are you deceiving yourself? Why are you deceiving yourself? Why are you deceiving yourself? So the sex toy manufacturer are having a lot of financial gain regarding that. And in their own belief, they believe that they are helping people to curb sexual immorality going around and all that. Your wife will not always be in the mood and all those things. Your husband also will not always be around. There are situations you find yourself and all that. And there are some people whose husband and spouse are around and they still engage the use of sexual toy just to aggravate the orgasm and the experience. The orgasm and experience. All right. So somebody is saying to me that would you permit your wife to use sex toy on herself? Do I know if she was using it before we married? Do I know if she's still using it while we are married? If she dare to come and tell me she want to use sex toy, my sister and my brother, she respect me. My own is not to tell her, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. I will never do that. You want to use sex toy? Go ahead. Give me a reason why you are using sex toy. Am I not enough for you? No, you are enough. But I'm traveling. My body, they do me somehow. I don't want to mess up. With the joy of Jesus in my heart, please use it. When you are home, we will resume my own toy. Honestly speaking, see, this life is not even hard. This life is not even hard. It's not even hard. When I was married with my ex-wife, one day she needed sex so badly, and she just did a live video with me, and she said she's going to a sex shop and can I approve it? I said no problem, and she went. She took the toy, penis toy that she likes, and I am aware of it. I'm so aware of it. Don't record and send to me. You want to have it, just go ahead and do it. If you want me to be part of it and not want me, that's my wife. Are you getting my point? That's my wife. She's all the way many miles away, all over the transatlantic ocean. And it's crazy cold right there. So if I say don't do it, don't. If you go to use it behind me, at least I know where we have a third party in the home. Thank God the third party is not a living being. So I can always throw it away. The reason why you go to get sex toy, is it because your partner is not enough for you? If that is the reason why you have to masturbate with sex toy, I'm saying that is not right. You guys can work it out. Your partner should be submissive enough to go for checkup and improving yourself. But if the reason for it is because some people are going apart and then you don't want to spill over, with the knowledge of each other, why not? Why not? I don't know why you people just so there's a financial gain. It's actually recuperating money for people who are manufacturing sex toy. And so many of you are in diaspora there, you work with these manufacturers. You work in their places as whatever designation they give to you. And you are sending money home. It's just like someone who came to me and said, is it good for a Christian to be working in the Nigerian brewery? I said, what is your problem with the Nigeria? Are you drinking the brewery? Is it even written in the Bible that the drinking brewery brew is actually a sin? Go and get money. Feed your family. Because if you go to church to come and feed me, they will not feed you. Don't allow these church people to take you out of your job. This thing is a solution to some people's problem. And if you are part of that scheme, count it all joy. You are making money. But the porn artistry, that's where I have problem. You can't be a porn star. Your body should be for your husband. Except you and your husband did a porn video together and you decided to release it. And I often tell spouses, I tell couples, I say, camera is good for party, for wedding, for whatever, for occasion, for memories. Camera is never good in your bedroom. Don't say, hey, let's just take it like that. No. What if you don't leak it? What if someone say, borrow me your phone and they leak your sex tape or video or picture? What if they steal your phone and then something else happens? All right, so the next is to talk about the masturbation and complications. What are the complications of masturbation? What are the complications of this masturbation? It leads to excesses and wild imagination. You see, the act of masturbation is not the sin we are talking about. It is the result of masturbation that becomes a sin. And Yoruba people say, what you don't want to eat, don't smoke it. That's why I will tell you that, no, don't masturbate. Because masturbation is a very deadly addiction. More deadly than the use of cocaine. The only thing is that it has more health benefits than cocaine and all those cannabis. Very deadly thing. Sometimes if you are addicted to masturbating, if you don't do it in a week, you will be shaking. People who are struggling with the addiction of masturbation, they actually go for rehabilitation. That's why I said, don't try. See, accidental masturbation, unconscious one, is different from the conscious one. You get my point? Are we clear? Now, this masturbation is possible to actually lead you into some depth of sexual fantasy that is so mad and crazy. And you can be fully dependent on it. I have seen men who are married, their spouses are good in bed. This woman, no matter how many times they knock the door, the woman is always dripping for them and opening up for them, but they still go to the bathroom to masturbate. Addiction. And do you know what the addiction of masturbation does to you? It shifts your emotion and your affection from human into yourself. Now, you could have sex. Sometimes, if you are addicted to masturbation, it is very hard for you to come on time to reach orgasm with a natural human being. Are you getting the complications of masturbation now? When you are addicted to masturbation, it is very hard. It could be very hard for you to actually reach orgasm either on time or at a round with a fellow human being, with your spouse. So you see a woman, she just wanted to pound her for a while, for a long time, and she did not go through female circumcision. Masturbation has finished her. You see, what you're doing is that the more you masturbate, massage your clitoris and all that. I'm talking about women now. Massage your clitoris. You are giving it you are training that part of your organ to be responsive only to a certain degree of pressure. To a certain degree of pressure. Now, the certain degree of pressure that you are training your organ to be overblown on might not be the certain degree of pressure that your spouse or your guy could give to you. Then you begin to complain of sexual dissatisfaction. Because what? You are going to masturbate your epa, or to masturbate your body epa. So you that's why we will say masturbation is not good. A man is there looking for a tight vagina. looking for a very tight vagina. Why? Because he's used to grabbing his own penis. He will grab the penis, make it so tight, and he will be imagining so many women. I imagine Sekina, imagine Ramota, imagine Juliana, imagine Juliet, and all those things. So when he eventually enters a woman's vagina, which is naturally just like that, not because it's wide or it's big, he doesn't have orgasm on time, and he doesn't feel satisfied because masturbation. Masturbation has finished every sensation in his penis because he's used to something very tight. That's why you see them opting for anal sex. When they begin to ask for anal sex, know that they started from masturbation. They started from masturbation. Those are the things that we say masturbation are not good for. You can see now, I have not said anything like God will strike you dead. I'm saying that even here, you are striking yourself dead. The dissatisfaction from fellow human being becomes so hard for you to gain if you are very giving and addicted to masturbation. And then it breaks the fortress of self-control. The fortress of self-control is broken in one's life because you want to imagine having sex with every dick and Harry. If you are giving to masturbation, you know what I'm talking about. You are a person giving to masturbation, you realize that whatever you see in sketch, you can easily masturbate over them. I've seen a man who will leave his desk at work to go and masturbate about his organ at work in the bathroom. And there's a part of the Europe, I've forgotten the country, where they actually created a cubicle on the street where you can easily just go and masturbate during work hour to relieve yourself if that's your problem. Ibi táyé ń lọ gan àwa gan ò mọ̀, ayé gan ò mọ̀ ibi tó ń fúnra ẹ̀ ń lọ. Even this world does not know where it's going to. Are you getting the point? So masturbation is going to be driving you farther from human affection. Sometimes some people just want to be by themselves. I've handled the case of a particular teenager who is deep into masturbation. And he said, now, sir, I don't want a man to have sex with me. Neither do I want to have sex with a woman. I just want to have sex with myself. And I said, how will you do that? He said, it is called milking. Milking. This boy started masturbating at the age of 11. He's currently now 14-year-old. He said it is called milking. What does this milking do? He actually masturbates his shaft, the top of his penis, and also use an object to massage his prostate gland via his anus straight away. He said they call it milking. Because the mother could not guide the use of the phone. The boy wanted to do assignment one day on Google, borrow the internet-enabled phone of a man, of the what do you call it, of the mother, and then at the end of the day, follow a pop-up that led to masturbation. So masturbation is going to get a lot of people crazy at the end of the day if you don't know how to control it. And the thing is that it is very difficult for you to now begin to control it. Once you get hooked with it, it takes the power of your mind, constant effort in your mind to get away from it. So that is what we have to say. Then let's now talk about masturbation and options. What are the options available for us? I'm beginning to bring it to an end now. Now, here is where we draw the curtain and we begin to talk to ourselves as people who believe in Jesus, who believe in the moral conduct of Jesus, not necessarily as a Christian or necessarily as a Muslim, but as people who are spiritual. Now, the closest thing I can use to actually prick your mind is the Bible. I can teach you without the Bible. I've been teaching you all this while without mentioning the part in the Bible. And you know either to do it or not to do it. But I'm going to teach you now according to the scripture. Either you are a Muslim or a Christian, you can always go to Google, type the book of James chapter 4, verse 17. Now, that part of a man called James, he has lived several years ago. He sat back and he said, a man who knows what to do. Let me say it again. A man who knows what is right to do and refuses to do it, to that man, it is a sin. That man said that quote. A man who knows the right thing to do and refuses to do it, to that man, it is a sin. I know I should confess about my sin to you, and I refuse to. To me, it is a sin. But the person right next to me doesn't think it is necessary to confess. To him, it is not a sin. Can you get the point now? That's the interpretation. Some people believe that until they kneel down, God will not hear their prayer. The day they refuse to kneel down, to them it is a sin because they have created a sin for themselves. It is you that create the sin you want to see as sin. To God, no sin is different from the other. But it is you that now begin to give decree to this sin. Say, this one is permissible sin. This one is not permitted sin. So that book of James chapter 4, 17 is saying that anyone who knows the right thing to do and they refuse to do it, to that person is a sin. Do you know the right thing to do? Are you supposed to be masturbating? The situation you find yourself, does it justify the masturbation you're going through and you're doing? What is the essence of your masturbation? Why are you masturbating? Now, Romans chapter 12, verse 1 is saying, a man called Paul was writing to some group of people. Even though he wasn't writing to us, he was not writing to me. But I found his advice to be very, very good because I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God without intermediary. So this man in the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 1 says that, I am advising you, therefore, brethren, to present your body as a living sacrifice. Why? Because God wants to make use of it. As a living sacrifice, make it holy and make it acceptable unto who? Unto God. For that is your spiritual act of worship. You see the reason why I took it out? It's talking about spiritual worship. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Paul is writing to some people in Rome. He said, come, I am telling you that if you want to really worship God in the spirit, you must start first by presenting your body as a living sacrifice and make it holy, make it acceptable. The body you are putting strange object that is not belonging to your spouse, are you making it holy? You went to buy penis. You went to buy penis that looks like cucumber of yam or tuber of yam and putting it in your body, drilling yourself. Let's assume that God became human being and meet you there. My sister and my brother, how shy will you be? Let's leave God out. Let's say a fellow human being like you walking on you and saw you in that act. How proud are you going to be? He said, if you want to worship God in the spirit, make your body holy and make it acceptable. It was also writing the book of to the people in the Colossus, the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. He said, whatever it is that you do now, anything that you do now, do it as if you are doing it unto God. And when you do it unto God, make sure that it is glorifying that God. Anything you do, he said, do it as if you are glorifying God. So that when you finish doing it, you'll be able to give thanks. How many of you after masturbating now say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Or how many of you can be masturbating and saying, I'm masturbating in the name of the Lord? Or I'm masturbating to the glory of God. Yeah, I'm masturbating to the glory of God. Now we are balancing it now. Now, if you can't do that, I don't see the reason why you should do it at all. Now, in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1 to 5, you can go and read that. But verse 1 is saying that there is a lot of immorality in the world, and the sexual pressure is becoming too much. Even though it is good to refrain from sexuality, but then sex is also a biological thing and it's a natural demand. He said, but if you want to have sex, every man should go get a wife, and every woman should go get a husband. You get the point? So now, even if you are divorced, there's provision for you, according to that chapter, for you to marry again. The provision for you is to, instead of masturbating and dying slowly, instead of burning with passion, instead of sleeping around, go and remarry. Make it legal. Make your sin a legal sin. Let's know you are committing sin legally. You get? Commit your own sin legally. So that is pretty much about it regarding the issue of masturbation. Look, you can begin to call me now if you want to be part of the program. 080-7838-4845. 080-7838-4845. 080-7838-4845. I'll give us just 1 minute musical break and I'll be back to see if we have anybody who want to be part of this, who want to also contribute. I will just be right back, and as I come back, we'll come and round up the whole thing as we call it a day today. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you want to call in, you can call in through the number that you are seeing on the screen behind me. And if there is no caller today, we can just close up today's broadcast by telling each other now. Tó bá kọwájú sí ẹ kó tá, tó bá kẹ̀yìn sí ẹ kó tá, tó bá kù wọ nìkan kó tèrò ara ẹ pa. What that means is that when it's facing you, do something about it. When it's backing you, do something about it. When you are alone, just still do something about it. It is now left to you to make decision. I have laid before you life and death today. I want you to just make decision for yourself. And that's the essence of this particular platform. I don't come to teach you how to live your life. I come to give you options on the way of good and that way of evil. I'm not saying masturbation is a sin or it is not a sin. Here it is, I say yes, and it is also a no. Depends on the situation and circumstances that warrant the masturbation that you are doing. But that God is going to put you in hell because of that, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It is the proceed of this masturbation that now end up what you're going to do. You can't be pushing something through your anus or be crazily imagining having sex with everybody that come across you. So you are in church, you are masturbating in your mind about a girl who is wearing a short skirt. You are in the street, you are in the bus, you are everywhere. You lack self-control. Now, when masturbation begins to push you to the edge of lacking self-control, then you should understand that oh boy, that is not even what we are talking about here. All right, my name is Greatman Ayilara, and I am so happy that you could join me today on this particular broadcast on the issue of masturbation. You can join me on this YouTube platform, Greatman Ayilara. Press your subscribe button and also press your alarm button so that you know when we are live. You can join several of our humanitarian procedures and progress via my social media handle at the Greatman Ayilara. Either you're using Instagram or you're using Facebook, and you can also partner with us on this platform. To be able to spread the word across. Invite as many people as possible so that we can grow together. Send your email to any of the inbox here. You can leave it as a comment. You can also leave it as a DM to me. You want me to answer a certain question? You want me to talk about anything? You want to make inquiry? You need us to discuss things that everybody will learn about. Yeah, you're free. You can send a message. I will surely treat your mail eventually someday. On this note, I'd like to say God bless you and thank you very much for joining us today. Don't forget to share this with as many people as possible on your network, on your social network. Grace be with you now, and see you some other time. Bye for now.